Alright, in this video I'm going to show you all the changes I'm going to make to this electric air pump for our hookah needs. We're going to make this an awesome hookah. Stay tuned. Alright, we're going to do away with our gas-powered hookah system. And this is made by Hookah Max. Well, most of it was. I had to replace this one time, but it was a Hookah Max system. And y'all have seen me find lots of treasure with this system right here. Cannonballs, bullets, buttons. We found tons of gold with it. Y'all saw us in the rivers digging gold rings like crazy at one spot. But a little noisy, getting old. And we're going to go with this one right here. It's electric, 12-volt electric powered. I'm going to tell you about that right now. All right, one of the first things you want to make sure is you have an oilless compressor. You don't want any oil in this compressor that will get into your line that you're going to be breathing. So, the next thing you want to do is, I want to show you real quick. This is the inlet right here. You want to make sure this is a nice filter on this inlet. All right, this is the air inlet right here. If you turn that, you can see that the air going into your pump here is filtered into the compressor right there. So, bugs or any kind of debris or something can't get into the compressing unit itself right there. So that's good right there, and it's locked it down like that. All right, the next thing we're going to do, we're actually going to add a water separator and a filter. This right here is actually a 5-micron filter, which is super small. It'll filter just about anything out. Now, the Hookah Max system I had, which is right here, did not have a water separator on it, but they did come with a 40-micron filter on the hoses. And I have replaced that before in the past, and so I do have some new ones here. I'm going to go ahead and replace them again here when we get everything straight. I'll tell you about that in just a second. What we're also going to do here, this came with the unit right here. This is a single outlet. But I am actually going to switch it out with the one that was on my hookah. Right here, it's got 2, or this one's actually got 3 on it. Mine wouldn't support 3 for sure, but I'm thinking it will support 2. So I'm actually going to put this on that, and that goes onto there. We have all our fittings ready to go here to hook everything up. So I got that straight there. Next thing we're going to do is we got 200-foot breathing air hoses. These are Hookah Max hoses, so they are for breathing air. As you said, air breathing, and food grade. But I haven't used them in a while, so I'm going to flush them out with fresh water. I'm going to flush the hoses all the way out, and then we're going to hook it up to the compressor and let the air blow through it for an hour, just to make sure it's all clean, dried out, and the air going through here is 100% pure. That's one thing we want to do. Now, we do have these units here. I've used these things for many years here, and we may end up getting some new ones. They're only about 30 bucks, so we may get some new ones, even though we're going to test these out and see if they're still good. But if they aren't, we'll get some new one of them. And that's going to pretty much set us up. Oh, one other thing here is we got the machine itself comes with a black and negative and positive leads, and we're going to have a battery wherever we use it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a couple of these right here leads here that we can hook to the battery. It's a jumper cable. I'm going to cut it probably right here so we have about 4 or 5 feet distance. So if I set this on my bow right here, I can put my battery in the boat right there and hook it up. So anyway, we're going to get started right now, hooking all this up, and I'll show you after we get it done. I found some brand new connectors. I didn't like the old ones. These are brand new. So what we did here is we cut it loose here. We're using the wire in here. We got a connector on here. We got it bolted right there, nice and tight. What we'll do now is we'll slide this right up over top of it, and the positive is ready to go. We got to connect the other end to the machine, but we want to get some good connectors on the end here. We'll go ahead and put the hook the black one up, and then we'll cut that off over there and hook it to the machine. Here we go. All right, we have the first one soldered together here. We'll use a soldering iron here and solder this together right here. As you can see, it's a super strong connection there. It ain't going nowhere. I just did it a few minutes ago. But it's ready to go now. Now, next thing we're going to do is take some heavy wall heat shrink. We'll heat shrink that over, and then we're going to take another heavy wall heat shrink here and go over top of it again. So it's going to be super well insulated so it won't pull apart. We'll actually put a stress reliever between the two to make sure that it doesn't have any stress on it, but that ain't going nowhere. We got to do the black side now and get it done. All right, there's a heat shrink gun. We're going to shrink the tubing on top of it now. get it nice and shrunk. And then we're going to put a second one on top of that. It's double insulated. And this is going to be super insulated. Won't need to put any electrical tape or anything like that on it. It's going to be super insulated. All right, our electrical connections are done. I will put a stress relief. I'll put a little piece of rope from here over to here just to keep it from pulling on it, but it wouldn't go anyway. But we'll do that just for safety purposes. All right, here we go on to the next item we got to work on. Here we go. And we are done with the oilless air compressor, setting it up. We got our stuff hooked up here. She's running like a top, man. No problem at all. We got all our connectors sealed up here. Put one little stress relief on it too, but I'll be done with that. But it's looking good. We're going to go ahead and start working on our hoses, flushing them out and cleaning them up now. All right, we've been flushing this hose now about 15 minutes, so it is definitely flush. Next thing we're going to do is put the air pressure to it, blow it out, and let it dry completely. So we'll blow it out probably for another 20 or 30 minutes just to make sure it's nice and clean. All right, let's do it. All right, as you see, we replaced the old 40 micron filter here with a brand new one right here. And I actually made this little thing right here to go over the end to keep ants or bugs from crawling into it. It's just a rubber hose with a screw down in the end to hold it tight. Just pull it off, but I'll just push that on it every time so it's sealed every time. Right now we're getting ready to flush it out, but we'll do that in the future. Right now this is the hose that we just flushed out, so we're going to push this into the compressor, crank the compressor up and just let it run and blow air through it and clean it out. All right, here we go. And she's flushing it out. It's blowing that out. Now it's going to completely clean this hose out so it's nice and fresh and nothing in it. I like it. It's going to take a little while to do. We're going to let it run so that thing's completely dry coming out. And now we know it's fresh and clean, and we'll put it in. All right, we've been going about 15 minutes and ain't one drop of water coming out of there. It's clean, fresh air coming out of there. I like it. And we are done. We have our hoses all cleaned, freshened up here with new 40 micron filters on them right there. You can see it right there, that 40 micron filter right there. I got them in these two containers. Before I was putting them in my big core, but thinking it might be easier for me to haul around with that. The pump's ready to go. I got 3 outlets here. Hopefully we'll be able to use 2. We'll see how that goes. We got everything hooked up here, and it's nice and quiet. It's not loud at all. I'm loving the sound. You got that in the boat. You don't have to worry about raising a bunch of flags up and telling, hey, here we are. Just nice and quiet. Seems to work good. Now all we do is get out here and test it out. But everything is looking good. I love how we got that on there with that heat shrink on there, because that really seals it up right there. It's tight. It ain't going nowhere there. All right, well, what y'all think about that? Hopefully we'll get out in the next week or so and give it a test run. I'm ready to find some gold with that thing right there. Get out there in that nice, just 8 foot. We're not going to be going real deep. We'll be at a depth that if this goes out or we have an issue, we can just come right up to the surface. So it's not going to be as dangerous as some people think it's because we're not going down 50 feet or nothing like that. We're going to be within jumping distance of the surface here. We'll just be breathing the air underneath the water, just like we did with our other rig right there that was very successful for us. We'll see how this one does. All right, I appreciate everybody coming along. Don't forget to click like, comment below, share, subscribe to the Gigmaster, and we'll see you underwater in the near future. Stay tuned.